What's up, roster baiters? It's Lil'Shane, aka Dark Knight Rises. I am back. That's right. After 3 weeks of going 0-6, I have come back to talk to y'all about fantasy football and our fantasy football league. But first, I gotta give a huge shout out to our USA team, baby. Beating Iran today. Moving on past the group stages into the knockout rounds. Cheers to USA. Hell of a goal, Christian. So I took a few weeks off from filming for two reasons. First and foremost, I get really bitchy when I lose. Like I said, I went 0-6 the last 3 weeks. And that's the main reason why I didn't film a whole lot. I'm a huge baby. Y'all probably have known that already. So, I won, and now y'all get a video! Yay! Oh, also, holidays played in there a little bit. I probably should spend time with my family, which I did while watching football, of course. But it's a little hard for me to get perky in front of a camera when my ass is getting beat by damn near 100 voodoo. I'm just kidding. That was a hell of a game, dude. Alright. So, I went 0-6, weeks 9 through 11, kind of balanced out my 8-0 start. Unfortunately for me, but fortunately for you guys. That's kind of cool. Brought me down to earth. So we're just going to skip those weeks and maybe talk about some highlights. Week 9, we had that massive slugfest between Voodoo Dude and Big Fresh. That was kind of fun to watch. Excuse me. 206 to 212, and Big Fresh needed every single bit of Joe Mixon's 58.1 points that week. That was his big week to beat Voodoo Dude. Big Fresh still doing it with no quarterbacks. That's really impressive. You can win this league without quarterbacks. He started only Taylor Heineke that week. Massive game. Sorry about you, Voodoo. Week 10 was when Voodoo Dude whooped my ass by damn near 100. He put up 200 points for 2 consecutive weeks. That's pretty impressive. This is also the week where Beantown Ace went from 2-0 to 0-2 because of a stat correction. Yeah, that's the game where Devontae Smith fumbled the ball on the last play. And at first, they didn't charge him with a fumble or a fumble loss. And then they gave him the fumble and the fumble loss afterwards, knocked him down 2 points, had him lose. I've never seen that drastic of a stat correction before. That just sucks, especially since that was the median limiter, too. Like, it was not only that he lost 1 game, he lost 2 games. That would just piss me off. I mean, I'd be more frustrated than a cow on AstroTurf if you were to ask me, but whatever. Week 11, I couldn't keep up with 74 points from Mahomes and Kelsey with that 3-touchdown game. And Beantown Ace is proving that he can beat any team with those 2 players on any given week. That was a big game there. But let's talk about week 12, shall we? So, week 12, my quarterbacks finally came together and did something. They finally scored around 50 points. Jackson and Burrow, not great, but they finally did well. I took down B-Man, who actually had a pretty good week with his quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence and Kyler Murray actually did better than my quarterbacks, and they put up some points. Christian Kirk had a down week and couldn't keep up with Chris Godwin, who finally broke out. Amari Cooper did some cool things. Deebo Samuel's not having the season we thought he would. It's really been hurting him. He started Juwan Johnson, who put up a goose egg and 0. And then even though Christian Watson is continuing to break out, he had 26 points this week. But 133 was not enough to take down my 171, which is 3rd best in the league. Had a close game. Voodoo came back down to earth, didn't put up his normal 200 points, but he put up 154.65, which was barely enough to beat the median and barely enough to beat our commissioner, Zombie Jesus. And so he gets the win there, and he does get the median win as well. Solid points from Derek Carr, really, not his brother. Russell Wilson for Zombie Jesus is still just sucking a lot of ass. At least Jonathan Taylor's doing some stuff now. That's good, G. But on the other side, Alvin Kamara, it was kind of back and forth. We had Tyreek Hill have a modest game, but the big contributor, even though Higbee scored 0, so Voodoo actually went into this game with only one quarterback, and the guy he put in his quarterback spot was Higbee, and he scored 0 that week. But it doesn't matter when you have Amon St. Brown putting up 30 points to help win you that week. So well done, Voodoo Dude. You got the matchup you needed to win this past week. If you would have played 4 others of us, you would not have been so lucky. Beef Shower gets taken down by Z-Man. Z-Man really needed to win to stay competitive. Beef Shower, even though he started off well, has really kind of been slacking lately. He falls to 8-16, even with Jalen Hurts, who's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in this league going forward, so he should be fine. But DeAndre Swift's not doing well. Tyler Boyd is really busting. He's not performing like we thought he would without Jamar Chase. And then his tight ends are not doing a whole lot. On the other side, we have Z-Man, who had a decent week with 183 points, but a lot of that came from Josh Jacobs. Holy crap, 55.3 points. A big chunk of that on the last play of the game for a walk-off 75-yard touchdown rush. Doesn't hurt that he has DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson doing some cool stuff as well. Again, showing that even though Josh Allen had a modest week, you can still win this league without quarterbacks. This is very interesting. Next game, You Are Dope fell back down from 500 with only putting up 122 points and lost to Beantown Aces 166.1. God, I wish I could have played Beantown Ace this week because he won. He did, but he did it with only Mahomes and Kelsey scoring 40 points instead of 75. So still a good chunk amount of points. Austin Eckler did his thing. Saquon Barkley kind of came down to earth for You Are Dope. Christian McCaffrey got hurt and left the game. CeeDee Lamb and T. Higgins and David Njoku did awesome things to help him at least get some kind of a modest score. But again, You Are Dope played it with one quarterback. It did not help him this week. He falls to Beantown Ace. And finally, Big Fresh, the hottest team in the league still, put up 180, beat PGB Could by 30 points. PGB had a decent game, putting up 150 points. He falls to 10-14. Herbert and Miles Sanders had amazing games, but he couldn't get enough from Tony Pollard because Zeke was there. His tight ends didn't do a whole lot. Kareem Hunt's still just a backup, and Jimmy Garoppolo only had 14 points. So, well done, Big Fresh. Dak Prescott's finally going to help you out. You have Nick Chubb, one of the best running backs in the league. Ramondre Stevenson's really flourishing with Damian Harris being out. Chris Olave, Dalton Schultz. So you got cool things from your Cowboys. And then you have Rashard White, could be the running back of the future for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So something really, really cool happened this week. Really interesting. Each one of the top 5 teams played a team in the bottom 5. Randomly that happened. And every single team in the top 5 beat the team in the bottom 5. Go look at it. It was very interesting. So what that did to the standings is it made all the top 5 teams richer and all the bottom 5 teams a little bit poorer. So all the top 5 teams are exactly the way they were last week because they all went 2-0. Yeah. And all the bottom 5 teams are exactly the way they were last week because they all went 0-2, except that Z-Man sitting at spot number 5 is farther apart from You Are Dope sitting at spot number 6 because of that disparity. So, what that meant is because that happened, 4 teams have clinched the playoffs, but no team has clinched the 1 seed. All right. So, we have 2 teams at 17-7. Voodoo Dude and Big Fresh. Voodoo Dude has a massive point differential, or points for advantage over Big Fresh. We're talking about 100 points. That is not easy to make up in 2 weeks. Then Beantown Ace at 16-8 also clinched. And then I clinch at 15-9. Now here's the deal. Voodoo Dude and Big Fresh, if they both lose and I win next week, we're all the same record. It's going to come down to points. And then the following week, it's going to go down to record. Like I said, all 4 of us could grasp the 1 seed. Even Z-Man, if he were to win out and some things were to happen up top, Z-Man could still definitely clinch the playoffs, but even has a chance at the 1 seed. That's some pretty wonky things would have to happen. You Are Dope. You are sitting in the last place that can make the playoffs. You have not clinched because PGB Could is 1 game below you. Now, you do have quite a bit of point advantage over PGB, so that's going to help you out. But let's take a look at next week's games. So, what happens is I get a good matchup over our commissioner, Gerald. And then we have Z-Man playing B-Man. Also, a pretty decent matchup in the Man-Bear-Pig Bowl. So, in theory, there should be some good wins to help me maybe get 1 more spot up to get to that 1 seed. Keep Z-Man. Maybe Z-Man does clinch next week. But for that to happen, PGB Cood's going to have to lose to Voodoo Dude, which is very possible since Voodoo Dude can put up 180 points on any given week. Beantown could easily beat Beef Shower because of the tear he's been on. And then Big Fresh plays You Are Dope at 11, who is still 11-13. That could knock him down a notch. And Big Fresh has a pretty decent matchup to, if he wins next week, he could basically secure his 1 seed if other teams were to lose. So it's going to be really interesting what happens next week. All right. Anyways. I wish everybody the best of luck next week and going forward. Hopefully I'll get out another video at some point. I want to do some more stats. I've been pretty tired lately. Just tired of all the losing. It just kind of takes it out of me. But anyways, good luck everybody. Cheers to you. Go USA. Let's take down the Netherlands on Saturday. Most important thing, I actually took my kid out of school today, and we went to a watch party in Round Rock. A buddy of ours took his kid out of school too. They're soccer buds. It was actually a lot of fun. But anyways, hope everyone's doing all right. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had some good turkey over Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has some good ham. For Christmas. I'll talk to you guys again before the next couple games ago, and we'll hopefully get something going. Maybe a Zoom call or something. If any of y'all play poker, let me know. We're trying to get some poker games going on Wednesdays. We can bring in the bacon. Anyways. Alright. This has been Dak Knight, a.k.a. Lil'Shane, talking to you from the man cave. Good luck, specifically in the Man-Bear-Pig Bowl. Man-Bear-Pig Bowl. To those boys over there. Alright. Good night.